Hey everybody, it's Denise with Bit Bougie. I am going to show you real quick how I put my zipper into my baby bags. Very, very simple, nothing fancy. So what I have here is I have two pieces of material, whatever size you're using. This is a straight up zipper with two tabs, one on each end. And here's my zipper, and I'm going to actually use leather because this is going to be turn into a wristlet pretty much. So what I do is I take my one piece, okay? I take my zipper, and my zipper's all closed to the right, and that's how this is. So I am going to lay that down. When you do a bag that has zipper tabs, you want to make sure you have enough room on each end. This is pretty close to, this is pretty good. It's not too much, it's not too little. Sometimes I give myself a little bit more room, but this will work just to show you real quick how I do it. So you can pin it, you can clip it. I actually just look at it, I hold it, and I lay it down and sew. Now, any machine will do this depending on how you have this fused. Now, just a heads up, this is something that I have to remember when I'm sewing. I have a very, very skinny zipper foot. Now, everybody knows that I don't care for zippers to show. I don't care if they're decorative, if they're flashy. I just think zippers are there for a purpose, not for flashiness. So I like getting really close to the teeth of the zipper tape. But when I have this smaller foot here, if you get too close, you won't be able to move that pull back and forth. You won't be able to open up that zipper. So I'm actually going to leave this the way it is. Normally, I would sew it the other way around with the walking part of the outer foot on the right side. So my foot, the main foot here, gets closer to the teeth, but I'm going to leave it like this so I have a little bit more room so my zipper will open. Hopefully that makes sense. So I will just sew this down. I'm going to back stitch here. I've got leather on top of fused cotton. You want to make sure you hang on. I keep my finger real close to the zipper pull because when I first got this machine, I wasn't paying attention, and I slightly tapped it, and I had to press the magic button. So I had to release the machine. I didn't do any damage, so I was fine. But I just hang on to it, and then make sure your foot is down. I take the zipper to the back, get rid of that zipper pull to the other side. Now, this is something that sometimes I don't pay attention, and I have to toss the bag because it's very frustrating. The zipper, this material is polyester. It's just a plain, very thin material. If you don't pay attention, it will leave waves in your zipper. So make sure that when you have your piece, your tab, that you are flush with the top. You want to be at a 90 degree. So that's just something you got to be aware of. See, this is really close. So the further you are away, the nicer it'll be, the easier it'll be to sew. So this is fine. Even though it looks a little wavy, it's fine because when I put my finger at the top, see, it does look nice when you pull it. That's how it's going to be. So this here up on top, that'll pull this way. So see, it'll be fine. So I close it off. I'm going to cut my threads. I don't cut my threads real close at this time. I don't mind having threads. Threads are a good thing. Sometimes they help you out when you need to get a little bit, you want to pull on the back end of it. Sometimes I'll just grab a thread. So when you have the piece sewn on, I'll take the inner lining and I will place that on top. But I will sew from the spot that I can see the fabric. This is what I want to see. I don't sew on top of the lining because I can't see my stitch. So I will go back here because I know I can get a little closer. Now make sure I'm pulling this out just a little bit up here. I'm going to make sure I'm matching here. Down here, I will match by the time I get there. There we go. So what I will do now, because I can feel, here's the zip, here are the teeth, okay? Here's my tab. So I am gonna make sure that I have this foot right on the inside of, between the inside of the bag and the stitch, see? Now, if I was on the other side, I really wouldn't know what stitch I had because you can't see it. So hopefully that helps. It's just those little things that make a big difference and make sewing fun and easy. So I am just taking this all the way down. So I know this foot is hitting the teeth, which is fine. But I want to make sure I'm right next to this first line that I stitched. Make sure your foot's down. I'm going to go in. I'm going to grab my zipper pull, lift my foot up, move the zipper pull down. Still sewing the same way I did when I started. Going over my tab. Back stitch just a little bit, not crazy. So let's see what this looks like. Normally I don't use this foot, but I've got some top stitching to do right after this. So I figured, you know what, I'm just going to do it with this foot. So normally I get a little closer than this. And you know what, if you wanted to, which I will, I'm going to take it and I'm get a little closer by going to the other side of the machine. I will go right here. Now, you could use this side or you could use this side that you stitched. Just as long as you see where you stitched, that makes it easy. Now here you have to be careful. You really don't want to get any closer than this. I'm telling you, you're not going to be able to open the zipper. I've done it. I've not paid attention. I've done this while I was listening to a TV show, which is sometimes not a good thing, and not paid attention. And before I open something up, I probably will toss it because it's not worth my time. So let's put the zipper tab in the back. And we're going to take this down all the way. I'm going to backstitch just there, real quick. Nothing crazy. Let's cut off our threads. Yep, and I probably need a new pair of scissors. So let's see how this looks. So there you go. That's exactly how I like it. Okay, so let's do the other piece. So say you have this laying here. Okay, I'm going to take my other panel, which is this one, and I'm going to lay this on top. Okay, so here you can see I've interfaced. Keep all your scraps. I've done this for 30, 40 years, as you just reuse your scraps because you cannot tell from this side. But don't ever throw away your interfacing scraps. They're golden. So I'm going to open this up. You want to make sure you're parallel at the top, parallel at the bottom. Like I said, I just hold mine. You can clip them. You can pin them, whatever you want to do. So make sure that your tab, you can feel that you're at a 90 degree. Okay, I know I'm at 90 degrees because just the way the machine is lined up, my electric tape, I just know I am spot on. Okay. This one I'm probably going to sew down 3 times again. You know, would it have been better for me just switching out my foot and sewing it down once instead of 3 times? Most likely. But, you know, sometimes we just want to keep going, and it's almost like you make it more difficult for yourself. Like changing thread colors. I've seen bags that have thread color that doesn't even match, and I know exactly how that goes because you're like, oh, I don't want to change thread colors. But honestly, the way I change thread colors, it only takes literally 3 seconds to change your machine to make thread match your project. Okay, so let's look at this. We know this is way off. This is something, yuck. I just have never liked seeing the zipper tape. When you look at a zipper, so when you look at a zipper, you can see when it went through the machine how it was made. Look at that. I mean, there's something about zippers. They're not very pretty. They're there for a function. And that's to open and close things. So I'm going to sew it down a little tighter. And I'm going to go on this side. I'm going to do it the same way I did it on the other side. Make sure your foot's down. Take your zipper pull. Close that zipper. And take it down to the other side. Now see, you can see that I'm right next to my teeth. And that's fine. So let's see what I have now. Remember, this was just like the other side. I'm getting closer. See that? Not close enough. So when you have that side sewn on, like this, you're going to take your inner facing and face it to the other inner facing. So you basically have your bag sandwiched in the middle. Okay? So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to sew this on so I can see where I'm at, because I know where I was last time. So now you can tell when you look at it, you can tell that my tab is going downward. But when you pull it up, it just brings the project straight. It takes that zipper and makes the bag, it makes it straight. So you'll be able to make sure that you have it at 90 degrees. Let's go this way. That's what I did on the last one. All right, here we go. And I'm going to go right next to the one that I sewed. Where's my pull? It's down here. And I look once in a while in here just to see where I'm at. Now, I like sewing a zipper on with it being closed as much as I can. I don't have one of those tools, and I saw that somewhere online, where they have a tool that goes right in your work between the zipper and your the fabric of the material of whatever you're working on. And sometimes it's great, sometimes I can't see it working in this situation. So let's see, where am I at? All right, let's see what this looks like. They should both be the same. There you go. See, now this will be, see, it's the same. When you pull it apart, this is about as much as I want to see on my zipper. So with this, what I do is the top stitching. You can top stitch it together, okay? And that's fine. You can do whatever you want. I've done it that way. I'm not really crazy about doing it that way. I like taking my lining and flipping it over to the other side. So all I want to top stitch is really just the outer piece. And now this you can get really close with the zipper. The zipper foot, that can be nice and tight, right up against the edge. And that does look sharp. That'll show that you can actually sew straight. So let me close this. Now, I'm a big believer in you should probably iron this. Normally I would get up and I would take this to my steam table. I'm a steamer. I would definitely steam this with a really hot iron. But for all intents purposes of making sure that I can move on with this project, you see that looks really good. And then I'm going to do the other side. So there it is flat. I'm going to take this piece and move it out of the way. And here we go. See, you have a little bit of puffiness when it's not steamed. It's okay. It just makes it really pretty. I just like, I like ironing actually. So get that zipper pull out of the way. I tell you what, that's one of the most dangerous things on any sewing machine. Let it be an industrial, let it be a home machine. That can get you in a big, big load of trouble. Okay, so that's how I do my zippers. There you go. So it would be this way. That's it. So hopefully that helped everybody, but you know, it's just a zipper. There's no need to sweat it. It's just a zipper, and it's probably one of the simplest things to do. A lot simpler than, let's say, for instance, a buttonhole machine. Those are more frustrating to me than zippers. So hopefully this helped you.